And we're on episode 84 of Ask Jay. I want to welcome you. I'm Jay Morrison, Jay Mr. Real Estate Morrison, whatever you want to call me. And I am the personality behind this Ask Jay platform. I'm the founder of the Jay Morrison Academy and a bunch of other stuff too. I don't even like talking about it. But I want to hop in today and talk about, you see I'm bundled up. I did go to the doctor this morning. I told you guys I was under the weather, and the doctor did confirm that I have a bit of a cold that I need to address. So I'm working on that. I got the meds, and I'm gonna be getting some rest. I'm gonna be staying warm. I'm gonna have some soup and all that other kind of stuff. So that's my goal, is to be better and get better, especially because we have our Baltimore corner classes this weekend, and I must be present for that, and I got a lot of work to do before that. So with our Ask Jay platform, again, it's 90 days of me committing to doing this platform and giving you guys a motivational message every day and answering your 5 questions that you guys ask with the hashtag AskJ. And so I thought about our motivational message of the day. That's why I actually hopped on early. I was thinking about like all that, as human beings, all that we go through, all that we can go through. We all go through different circumstances. And adversity, the way we deal with adversity and pull through adversity really makes us who we are. And it really makes our stories, and it really makes our success or our lack of success, right? How you deal with adversity. And so I want to challenge everyone. And I want to tell you 3 of mine. I want everyone to think about 3 circumstances in your life where you felt that, and maybe some of you just haven't had a great life and you don't got them, you know what I'm saying? But I know many of us have had some trials and tribulations. So I want you to think about 3 circumstances in your life where you felt like it was just over, like life was just the worst, there was no bouncing back, and that, think about those moments where you just felt like it was just the worst. It was the pits. It was like you just couldn't imagine being in a better space, right? And so my message with that, and like, so when I think about mine, like I remember, even back to high school, I remember when I dropped out of high school and I was getting into a lot of altercations in school, and I was getting into altercations at home with my stepfather, and rest in peace, he passed away. So, this past last year, but we were getting into it at home. I really had just like lost hope. Basketball was keeping me afloat of my love for basketball. And then my coach and I didn't see eye to eye. And, I wasn't paying attention in classes. And so I left home. I left home at 16 and I dropped out of high school. And I went and moved with a friend and then a cousin, and kind of bounced around from house to house and started selling drugs to support myself. But at that period, I felt really, really down, depressed. And I really just I had like no hope. And, life seemed like it was a dead end for me, at that period. Another time where I felt the same way was, this has been several times, right? So I got several of these, but I'm going to just speak about 3. But I do know one of my lowest of lows, right? So that's what we're talking about. Like, what's one of your lowest? Think about 3 of your lowest of lows in life, because we're here now is the whole point, right? So I'm going to tell you 2 more of my lowest of lows, but the point of it is I'm here now. So it wasn't as bad as I thought. I survived it, right? No matter how low you thought your lowest of low was, you're still here. You're still living, so you're still here having this opportunity. So I know for me also was when I got locked up on my my second time getting locked up. And it was in New York. And when I met with my lawyer, and my lawyer told me that I was looking at 3 years to life in prison at 18 years old for my drug charge and the gun that I got caught with in New York. And at 18 years old, never having been incarcerated before, I was arrested before, but never had been locked up before. And when I had no opportunity to bail out because they had an surety exam on my bail, meaning I had to prove where my bail money came from. So I couldn't bail out. I'm in jail for the first time ever. I'm in jail out of state. I'm in New York. I'm hearing all the horror stories of Rikers Island, right? And now I'm looking at 3 years to life in prison at 18 years old. And that was a period in time where I felt like, you know, it's a wrap. This is a low of lows. I remember in my dorm, my 3-upper on C-74 in Rikers Island, I vividly remember it was December in our day room, right? The day room is where you have the TV and the games and stuff. So I'm in the day room and I'm looking out the window. The window has these metal bars on it, right? And like crossbars. And I'm looking out the window, and Rikers Island is by JFK, right? Or LaGuardia, one of those New York airports. I think JFK. And I'm watching the planes land. So I'm seeing people free take off and land. And here I am locked up looking at 3 years of life in prison. And Christmas is approaching and New Year's is approaching of 1999, or excuse me, 1998. And I was so low, I just could not believe that I was there. I could not believe that my freedom had been taken. My life was on pause. I mean, just a few months ago, I was on top of my game. I was young, I had money, I had, you know, plenty of queens, and I'm just running around, and I had, you know, I was just having a time of my life as a 17-year-old young king with money and you know, no parents over me. I was living this like liberal life, and now everything had come to a standstill. And I remember wishing and praying that a plane would crash into Rikers Island to give me the chance to escape. Like I remember like wishing that. Like I wanted to get out so bad. And another low of lows is a similar situation years later, right? So even after having been that low, I got through it and didn't say, you know what, I'm going to turn my back on crime. I'm going to turn my back on a life of crime. I actually went more vigorously into the criminal world and underworld. And so continued to sell drugs and continued to hustle, continued to risk my freedom, put myself at jeopardy. And so years later, while I was still on parole in New York, I caught a charge in New Jersey and I bailed out from it. And then a few months after that, I caught a charge in New Jersey. I caught a drug trafficking charge in Maryland, and I bailed out from that. And so it was a period where I was 20 years old. Yeah, I wasn't 21 yet. I was 20 years old, and I was on parole in New York for this charge I told you about. And I was out on bail for an offense in New Jersey, and I was out on bail for a major offense in Maryland, right? And that was one of my lowest of lows as well, because I thought there was no coming out of that. I thought that my life was done. It was over. It's kind of like when you watch a football game and it's like 2 minutes left and one team's down like by 18 points. You're like, there's no way they're gonna come back at 18 points. It's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just no way. It's only 2 minutes left. It's 18 points. There's no way. Everybody's celebrating. The next thing you know, there's a fumble. The guy runs it back. They got 7 points. They kick an onside kick and they get it. Then they throw a bomb. They get it. That's 14 points. And then they kick the ball off, and the other team, you know, and it's just like, next thing you know, they've actually come back and won the game in this miracle victory. And that's why I always believe it's not over till the fat lady sings. Like, it's never over. It's not. It's always hope. It's just always some peak of hope there. And I truly believe in hope. I truly believe in the underdog. I truly believe in miracles. And so, again, I have like several more of these lowest of lows. But just having had these low points in life and having survived and to be here, even today, things do not go perfectly. I still have adversity today. Don't think Jay Morrison's life is all laid out. It's not. I still go through adversity. I just deal with it knowing that as long as I stay persistent and consistent and stay on my grind, I will always have an opportunity to bounce back. And that's what I want to give you all is, yo, if you just stay with it, man, like, we all gonna go through something, and sometimes it's gonna be horrible. It could be a car accident, it could be losing a family member, it could be breaking up with a boyfriend or girlfriend, getting a divorce. I mean, life, you know, life will throw some things at you. But you know, we have this great ability that God gave us to be able to bounce back from these adversities. You know what I mean? If we can, you know, muster up some persistence and muster up some hope and keep that going. So that's a big part of like just my whole thing is just like, yo, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to keep working and we're going to get there. So persistence truly does pay off. So I want to get to our 5 questions today after that thorough motivational message. We get our 5 questions today brought to you by J. Morrison Real Estate Partners and Brandon J. Wigley. For those of you who want to do joint venture deals with us on the real estate side, go to jmrepartners.com. For sellers who want to sell fast, you can go to that same site, jmrepartners.com. If you want to join our investors list to see what deals that we have that may be appealing to you, you can go to that same site. Or if you want one-on-one coaching, you want to sit down with me or one of the team and you want to really figure out a plan and an executable blueprint for your financial freedom or for strategies for you to build wealth, sit down with us. We offer consulting and one-on-one coaching. Cool. So from YouTube, I guess it's Aggie Girl, A-G-G-I-E, is that A-G or Aggie Girl? Asks, why did you tell folks to enroll going to be an incentive? Woo. So Aggie Girl is asking, why did I tell people to enroll a month in advance for the J. Morrison Academy, I'm assuming, if there weren't any incentives to enrolling a month in advance? Well, our school just opened enrollment. I mean, typically when you have a school or institution, they don't open the enrollment the day of the class is starting. Typically you have a lead up in a enrollment window for people to enroll into the school. I don't think when you go to your community college or you go to your hair school or you go to a Lincoln Tech or you go to a university that when they have their enrollment window for 45 or 90 days or 60 days, I don't think they give you an incentive for you to go get your education. The incentive is for you to get your seat to get your education. So that's the incentive, is that once you enroll, you are locked in to begin learning what you haven't learned, what you need to learn in order to be successful in your life, which is financial literacy, real estate education, and wealth building and wealth strategy. So I don't believe in a bunch of gimmicks and marketing plays and all that when it comes to education. You either want it or you don't. I don't need to trick you to get educated. Like, you want it or you don't want it. And your life will play out based on what you know and what you execute, or based on what you know. So that's the incentive. The incentive is that you will get the game. From YouTube, Gabrielle Blackmore asks, what's the difference between the old and new residential course? Not much difference, Gabrielle, in our real estate investors course and our new residential real estate course. I've added a few more videos. I want to touch base and just kind of round out the whole residential real estate perspective and give some insight on homeownership and how it all ties into investing. So not a ton different about it. Most of the course will be the same. But again, we're just making it, specific towards residential real estate as a whole, and not just of real estate investors, right? So it is about investing, but I want to also add some other components and make the picture clear. That's the thing. The difference is I got to sit back after 2 years or a year of our real estate investors course and see where there were holes or where I think I could add value, and I added some value. That's the difference. Some great Academy questions, though. I'm glad you guys are locked in and interested. From YouTube, Refresh Genius asks, as a leader of your business, how do you get your team to stay committed and focused on goals you have set out for your business? That's a very, very good question. I mean, I do a lot of meetings with my team. I have all on my different businesses. We have group meetings in different groups for the operations side, the marketing side, et cetera, on different businesses. And, I stay on top of everybody. We do set markers. We do incentivize our team sometime for reaching certain goals. And at the end of the day, I have real professionals working for me. And when I realize someone working for me or with me is not a real professional, I fire them, because I need people that are really, like you said, committed to this vision and our goals. and not here just to play. So true professionals will get the job done and get the job done right, and they don't need a bunch of hoopla and they don't need a bunch of bonus incentives and hey, you could be on stage with me, you could do that. Like, people that are looking for more out of something than just getting their job done to the best of their ability typically aren't good people to have working with you, working for you. You really want people that take their job serious, whether it's sweeping the floor, cleaning the windows, videography, graphic design, whatever it is. You want people that take that job serious because it's their job. That's what a professional does. Like, whatever they commit to, they go hard at it and they do it to the best of their ability because they are a professional and they value their work, and they want a good name for themselves. So, excuse me, guys. What else? And I try to make my vision as clear as possible for my team as well, too. And my team really believes in it. Like, I lead by example. So they know the work I put in. And that also raises the bar for the kind of work they put in. Because they know that, like, I'm not sitting back just chilling or being lazy. But I'm actually out here working as well. From Facebook, Tony Anderson asked, I remember a time before you said you needed to start a workout again. As a busy entrepreneur, how do you fit that in your schedule? So, yeah, I'm slowly getting back into my workout, right? And sometimes I think you just keep it simple. And so what I'm doing is just that every morning, and it'll get more intense, but right now I'm just every morning and every evening, I'm simply just doing as many push-ups as I can. Really simple. That's all. Just every morning when I get up, every evening before I go to bed, before I pray, I'm just doing as many push-ups as I can. Then I'll add a push-out and pull-up regimen, and I'll probably do some running or some other kind of cardio or leg workouts, and then I'll get into the gym eventually. But you just make time for what you can make time for, and you make time for it when you can make time for it. But you do have to be really intentional about squeezing that time in. But I think having simple routines allow you to be able to pull that off with a super busy schedule such as mine. Then from YouTube, Prince Iboka asked, how will JMA students be able to get a hold of you or other mentors outside of the biweekly calls in order to get quick answers to questions we may have at any time? Well, that's not typically how it works. I mean, myself, and I can speak for the mentors and definitely for myself, on social media, I will and do often answer questions, just because, I'm engaging in that way. You guys can also ask questions in the LinkedIn group and get help from other students. But in regards to getting a hold of the mentors whenever you want, that would be more full on lines of like a one-on-one situation, right? It's no different than if you were going to a traditional school. You don't have your teacher's phone number, every student, to be able to call your teacher whenever you have a question about your lessons, right? You wait for class for that, or you wait for your calls for that. So the academy is not set up in a way in which, whenever you guys want to ask a quick question, you can, but you could always tag me at Mr. J Morrison on Instagram. It's probably the platform I frequent the most, or inbox me, and I do try to get to those as much as I can. Otherwise, you just gotta wait for the calls and study your lessons and study your mentorship archive videos. If you follow that blueprint and don't try to improvise it, come up with your own strategy, it really, really works. We've had a lot of students. I mean, I would really say hundreds of students have success just following the simple blueprints. Don't got to get too fancy. Don't got to get too creative with it. Just follow it exactly how I laid it out. It was very, I spent a lot of time thinking it through and laying it out for you. So you'll be okay. And then also our engagements and things like that, our speaking engagement seminars, make sure to attend those as much as you can as well. Because you won't have Ask Jay to ask me questions all the time, because this is about to be done in another 6 days or so. So, but again, just glad to be doing this. My pleasure. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 85. Make sure you like the video, share the video, comment below, subscribe to my channel. Trying to put out as much content as possible. We got our corner classes in Baltimore this weekend on 1/19, which is next, I think, Monday or Tuesday. I think Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. We are doing our Building Black Wealth seminar in King of Prussia outside of Philly. hosted by Chris Darden, and I'll be keynote speaking on building Black wealth. Then I have something coming up in Chicago soon too. I'm trying to get the location, but I will be in Chicago the weekend of the January 23rd. And then we're working on something in Toronto, Canada for All-Star Weekend, February 13th as well. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Just really active. And we're going to be doing a lot more in the New York, New Jersey area. We're working on our weekly Jay Morrison Academy, Jay and Brett meetups, as well as a day with Jay for the New Jersey, New York students, which will be a 6 to 8 hour day with me, touring property, site visits, private, private wealth session, business session, all that kind of stuff. So just look out for everything. Make sure you guys are on the email list too. If you're not on my email list, go to jmorrison.net, get on the email list. And if you don't have your monthly budget, your daily budget, your wealth DNA kit, go to jmorrisonacademy.com, put your name and email in, and get your wealth DNA kit and use it. No, you should know right now how much you spend per day, per week, per month. Be on top of your money. Be on top of your finances. And then start saving for your financial freedom fund. All right, guys. So I will talk to you in a little bit. And again, episode 85 tomorrow. We're winding down. And I'm out. Love you. Peace. Ding.